So welcome to Bastyr University's undergraduate webinar in our nutrition programs. My name is Dr. Fernanda Bruce-Molin, and I serve as the chair of the nutrition department. You might know that Bastyr University is a pioneer in natural health, arts, and sciences. Our main campus is located in Washington State, in Kenmore. We do have a satellite campus down in San Diego, which is the one that I am closer to, even though I serve in my across campuses, mostly a remote position. I've been with Bastyr University as a professor for many years, going on 8 or 9 now. But I was a student at Bastyr also many years ago up in the Seattle campus. So technically, I've been involved one way or another with the university for a long time. I would like to welcome all of you, and for the sake of organization, if you have questions, you feel free to raise your hand or drop them in the chat, and I will try to make a conscientious effort to take some breaks throughout our presentation to answer your questions. And we'll always have some time at the end also to do some Q&A. So let's get started. As I mentioned, we do have nutrition programs in 2 of our main campus. We have our campus that is actually in Kenmore, not in Seattle, even though we have our clinic in the city of Seattle. And we have our campus in San Diego as well. And we have an online master's degree in nutrition program, in addition to the 2 physical locations. So this is the programs that we offer by campus. So in the Seattle and the Washington campus, we have 2 of the bachelor's degrees, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So we have a Bachelor's of Science, Nutrition, Food, and Exercise. And we have a Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition, Nutrition and Culinary Arts. There is a typo there. So one is food and exercise, and the other one is nutrition and culinary arts. We also have graduate degrees. So for those that are here for looking for a long journey in getting a graduate degree, or maybe embracing the path to becoming a registered dietitian, we have 2 graduate programs that serve that capacity. So one is the Master's of Science in Nutrition with the DPD, which is Didactic Program in Dietetics. So if you're thinking ahead a little bit, you do need to have a master's degree and the DPD completion track to then pursue your registered dietitian credential. We also have a dual degree, which is a Master's of Science in Nutrition and a Master's of Arts in Counseling Psychology. That's a 3-year program. We're not going to talk too much about it, but we do offer that as well. And then in other programs, we have the dietetic internship. So the dietetic internship, again, is kind of the last component for those students in the registered dietitian track. So after you finish a master's and your DPD programs, you need to apply to an internship, and that will complete your education portion of the credential. But for now, we're going to focus on our undergraduate programs. In our online division, we currently have our Master's of Science in Integrative Nutrition. It's a 100% online degree where you can take it anywhere in the world, and it's asynchronous, so you're not really spending any scheduled time with the course. And it does lead to fulfilling requirement for the CNS certification, but not the registered dietitian certification. So we can talk more about that in the graduate portion of our webinars. Again, today we are here to focus on our bachelor's degree. So we're going to be talking about the 2 programs that are in the Seattle campus. Again, our bachelors are only in the Seattle campus. We do not currently have a bachelor's program in the San Diego campus, neither do we have one online. So those 2 are the Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Culinary Arts and the Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition, Food, and Exercise. We're going to go a little bit more in detail about each of them. And while I'm not going to really be just reading right off of the website what you can find there, I do want to highlight a couple of really important things. So we'll start with the Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Culinary Arts. Important thing to know is that this is a completion program, so you will come to Bastyr and you spend your last 2 years of your bachelor's program here, which means you have to come in with having completing all of your general education. You can do that in a community college, or if you already have a bachelor's degree, we might be able to apply that towards the the total credits to gain a bachelor's of science. So in-house, you're going to complete 90 credits, meaning you have to bring in around other 90 credits, and there are some prerequisites that if you go on our website or if you contact one of our admissions advisors, they will be able to go over those with you. So the Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Culinary Arts is a very specific program because it not only gives you scientific nutrition knowledge, but it also gives you culinary skills at a high level to be proficient in preparing whole foods based healthy foods. So a couple of the expected program outcomes, meaning when you finish the program, you will be able to critically evaluate and interpret media and research findings about food and nutrition using an evidence-based approach. So while Bastyr we are known for being a holistic and a natural healing school, we do prime and we do base all of our education in an evidence-based approach, meaning we are very strict with research, and we raise that bar with our students. So you will be looking at research and interpreting research and understanding what does that mean in the application in real life. You're also going to be able to communicate food, culinary, and nutrition information in both written and oral formats in a clear, cohesive, and accurate manner. So throughout the program, you have many opportunities to practice this, even practice, teaching cooking classes and performing presentations and other many other ways in which you contribute both written and orally to the nutrition community. You also will be able to describe food and nutrition needs for healthy people using a whole foods and whole person perspective, which means you're gonna study nutritional needs and nutrition assessment for populations. And your scope of practice will be based on healthy people, right? Healthy groups of people. You identify where food originates and what policies and processes affect food before it reaches the consumer. So our programs, all of our nutrition programs at Bastyr have a focus on food justice and food systems. So you will be talking about, environmental aspects of food production and, access to food and these really important topics in our profession. And you're going to demonstrate a repertoire of culinary skills needed to develop original recipes, plant-based whole foods menus, and prepare food that supports well-being. So a lot of the classes, especially in the second year of our Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Culinary Arts, are practical lab classes where you will be practicing those culinary skills. We have a wonderful teaching kitchen, and we have chefs that do come and teach from how to handle your knife and how to perfect those very specific knife skills to coming up with whole menus and whole presentations and whole capstone dinners at the end of the program. Let me just check if there's any questions in the chat. I don't see anything that's jumping out that we want to talk about the focus of the program so far before I move on. Okay, so let's go and talk a little bit about the possible career opportunities that you may have if you choose to pursue the Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and Culinary Arts. So again, this program is very focused on the culinary aspect. So you will be prepared to work as a chef, right? The difference here is because we also infuse the program with nutrition science, you will have that extra level of skill to prepare foods that can be therapeutic, right? So you can work with your clients to create specific menus and have those, not only the fancy side of culinary, but also the therapeutic side of culinary. So a therapeutic chef, a nutrition consultant, because you do have the nutrition science background. You can work at a cafeteria or any school lunch program. You can work as a sous chef. You can work as a caterer. You can start your own catering business. We certainly have students that have done that. You can be a private chef. You can work in writing or any sort of social media for food and health content. We have students that author cookbooks, health promotion consultants, so that whether that is in a corporate wellness scenario or with your own company, product developer in the food industry. So some of our students have created nutrition bars or shakes or powders. And also you will be extremely well trained in recipe and menu developing. So you can definitely use those skills in public media and public organization, private companies. I know that some of you mentioned that you are interested in this degree. And again, I want to take a little pause and see if there's any questions about this degree specifically that I can answer right now before we transition to our second Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition. All right, I see something in the chat. Okay, Randy, go ahead. You can either speak up or type.
I'm going to speak. It's easier for me than to type. So I went to school for integrative nutrition at UC San Diego because they have an integrative nutrition and medicine program. And I'm certified in like a lot of this, but is any of that transferable, do you think? Or would
So,
you have to look at it?
what was your was it a degree program or was it a
It was
certificate?
not a degree, it was a certification. UC San Diego doesn't offer a dietary or nutrition degree. So it's specialized because I work in nutrition right now and just trying to further my opportunities. So Bastyr is on my top tier list, of course, because it's like the best of the best. So I've been accumulating credits and I have my certifications through UCSD for integrative nutrition studies and medicine to teach, to practice the recipe breakdown, all of that stuff. So trying to figure out, because I don't have that degree, I don't want to get my degree in clinical nutrition. I'd rather do it in this style, if any of my credits would be transferable to your program.
Yeah, so that actually is a great question for one of our admissions advisors. So the way that this works is for us to accept, right? Because we have to confer a degree program. So if
Right.
to transfer credits in, they would have to have been from an accredited degree program. So
Okay.
whether it's a community college or a private university, it doesn't matter, but
Okay.
they have to be academic credits, right?
Okay.
So if you have those, then we would be glad to take a look. But unfortunately, and that's the drawback from some certificates, they really don't hold any value academically. So
Okay.
they're not they're not issued by or they're not supported by an accredited university, right? They're not an accredited program. We can't just transfer because then we would be out of compliance with our accreditors. So for you
I
to
see.
to have credits for a bachelor's degree, they have to be at the level of that same degree.
Okay. Got it.
Mhm.
Got
But
it.
I
Okay.
mean, again, if you have credits, right, from
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
community college or from a university,
Right.
we would be
Right.
glad to see which ones we could take.
Okay. I'll look into it.
Sure. All right, let's see. Are there any other questions of the culinary arts program? Okay, so we will move on. And I'll open again for questions at the end, so maybe something else comes up. But this is a very, very niche program. We have smaller cohorts, and they tend to really they amaze us with the projects that they develop, and the therapeutic menus, and the capstone dinners that they have. They're really incredible. So the level of professionalism that these students acquire in this program in terms of culinary and nutrition is really, really high. So moving on to our Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition, Food, and Exercise. So this program is a little bit of a makeover of a couple of other programs that we had that we combined. So we historically had a Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition and a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science. So this one kind of combines both of them to kind of broaden the scope of the student that graduates from this program. So again, this is a completion degree, so you will have to have those, your general education credits already finished when you come to Bastyr, and you spend 2 years with us to complete 90 credits to then be granted this Bachelor's of Science. There's are also some prerequisites, and you can take a look at those online and make sure that, if you have any questions, you can always contact our admissions advisors, and they will help you sort out your path to qualify to any of these programs. So let's talk a little bit about the expected outcomes of this program and how does that, compare and contrast to the one that we just talked about. So again, one of the expected outcomes here is to also critically evaluate and interpret media and research findings about food, nutrition, and exercise using an evidence-based approach. You will see the term evidence-based approach very strongly coming through here because, again, all of our teachings in nutrition and exercise and food are evidence-based, meaning there is research backing that, right? These are not philosophies that we like, or these are research concepts, and they are in accordance with respected philosophies in the field. Another expected outcome is to communicate food, nutrition, and exercise information in both written and oral formats in a clear, cohesive, and accurate manner. So similar to the other program, meaning you will be trained, right, to be a spokesperson for food, nutrition, and exercise. You will be able to translate research, translate more complicated information, so then the public can understand, and you can have a bigger impact in terms of educating and changing behaviors. You're also going to be able to describe food, nutrition, and exercise needs for healthy people using a whole food and whole person perspective. And again, this goes into understanding what the needs are, what the benchmarks are that we're looking for in terms of nutrients and exercise, and how to then put that, going to the last bullet point, create a food and exercise related intervention for disease prevention that integrates mind, body, and spirit aspects of wellness. So what this means is you will have an understanding of wellness, right? What is wellness? What are the aspects of wellness? And then you will be able to then create plans that incorporate food and exercise interventions to help individuals and communities. Again, I'll take a little break here and I will see if there are any specific questions. There are a couple of special things about this program that I will mention in the next slide with the career opportunities. But this program really, with the heavy focus on the exercise component, it will prepare the students to seek certification as personal trainers and exercise physiologists. So you will have the knowledge and the prerequisites necessary for that. Let me see, I'll give you a couple minutes to formulate any questions or type any questions if there are any. All right, let's move on to career opportunities for the Bachelor's of Science in Nutrition, Food, and Exercise. So like I mentioned, I'm going to start here from the bottom. This program will make you eligible for professional certifications, such as the ACSMEP, which is the American College of Sports Nutrition Certified Exercise Physiologist. So that's what that certification means. And the CSCS, which is the Natural Strength and Conditioning Association Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. So in other words, you qualify to sit for certification as a personal trainer, but also as an exercise physiologist, which is a little bit above and beyond that. Which means that what some of your career opportunities are obviously geared towards that. So strength and conditioning coach and certified personal trainer. You also have the nutrition and food aspect of this program. So you will also be able to be a nutrition, food, and exercise consultant within public and private companies. So think about the corporate wellness scenario. We have a lot of students that are developing courses and content for social media, so digital platforms. Nutrition, food, and exercise writer in digital and print media, including cookbooks and websites and any other kind of publication that you can think of. Nutritional sales consultant. So the nutraceutical company or supplement industry has grown tremendously in the past few years, and there's many opportunities for those that are trained in nutrition to become a part of that industry. And you will have some coaching and behavior modification courses within this program, so you could also work as a lifestyle or wellness coach. And again, I will just take a few minutes to see if there are any questions about any of the programs. The last slide that I have is really for you to take the next step. If you have any questions, is to really reach out to an admissions advisor. So again, the admissions advisor will be able to look at where you are and where you want to be and kind of bridge that gap for you, telling you need these prerequisites, or you already met the prerequisites, or this is what I recommend. And they have lists of classes that you may take online or at community colleges to kind of help get to us. So please, write down this information, or you can also just go to our website and look for the admissions advisor information and seek their help directly. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here and spending some time with me this afternoon. Feel free to log off if you're ready to go, and contact me in the future if you need to. Thank you so much.